The European Enlightenment is an 18th century intellectual movement that questioned traditional authority and focused on creating better societies. The use of reason, the scientific method, and progress were three main concepts. It came about due to years of mistreatment under monarchies and the impacts of the 30 Years' War, combined with an exploration of the world and the interests of European philosophers in this expanding world around them. Two important philosophers of this time were Immanuel Kant, who emphasized thinking on one's own authority and using reason to lead to freedom and progress, and John Locke, who focused on natural rights like life, liberty, and property. The Enlightenment led to rational ideas about government, and this is different than what we had seen in the past, which is divine right, where the right to rule is given by God. This led to an increase in Republican thought. Now, in this instance, Republican isn't one of the parties we think of in our voting system. So what we're talking about here is the original classical meaning, which is rule by the consent of the governed. So liberty and the will of the people are what's important here. During the Enlightenment, scientific reasoning, rationalism, and empiricism were important, and we saw new emphasis on schooling and medicine. We also saw human rights defended against tyranny. The philosophers of the Enlightenment spread information about natural law, social contracts, and ethics, and this helped challenge the structures of government and society. They favored limited government without religious interference. Logical thinking was valued more than church and religion. Of course, England wasn't in a bubble, and the Enlightenment impacted the colonists too. And in many ways, it influenced the leaders of the American Revolution. Some of the main ideas were freedom of speech and press, religious tolerance, and equality. Since the colonists did not have these things, they rebelled against England for their independence, which we will explore more in just a few minutes. For now, it's important to remember that due to the ideas of the Enlightenment, the concept of natural law became very important in challenging the divine right of kings and shifting towards the establishment of a social contract and legal rights in the form of classical republicanism.